One of the coolest benefits to online learning, whether you're doing a course for some kind of personal development, for professional development, or for some kind of certificate or degree, is that it's asynchronous, meaning you don't have to have your bum in a seat for a certain amount of time to learn the material that you need to learn. It's all at your fingertips, it's on demand. The downside and the shadow side to that is that it makes it a whole lot easier for you to forget that it's there or to keep putting it off. And in other words, the burden of learning is on you as the online learner to make the most of your investment in that course. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'm Nikki Elledge Brown, the communication stylist, and in this video, I'm going to give you 5 simple tips for making the most of your investment in an online course. Now, this is assuming, again, that you've already invested in the course. So I have another video where I talk about 3 questions to ask yourself to make that decision and make sure it is the right investment for you at this particular time. So I'll leave a link to that somewhere. But for today's purposes, we're assuming, yes, you made that decision. Now it's game time to start getting those results. So the first step in getting those results is to commit to actually getting them, because you've already made that decision to invest. So now it's your time to decide to make it worth your while. And nobody else can decide that for you. So please don't take the passive approach of, is this going to work for me? Because if you ask yourself the right 3 questions and you know that this course does get results and there is some kind of clear objective at the end of the rainbow, it's possible. If it's possible for other people, it's possible for you. So decide, commit. You're in it to win it. Nobody can do the work for you. You've got to do it. So commit to doing it. That's step number 1. Number 2 is to schedule it. Because we all know if we don't put something on a schedule, it's very easy to just forget. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Just last night I sat down at this table and I made a list. Like, here's my to-do list of all the things I need to do. Here's my old school Mary Kay weekly plan sheet, which I will link to you below this video. But when I sold Mary Kay back in grad school, they had a plan sheet, which is literally just Sunday through Saturday, like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And literally, like, you just put whatever you need to do, put it in a block and assign a time to it. It's even more handy to have it assigned to a time. And yes, you have to be flexible. Life happens and blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to be as rigid as I can, though, before we have a newborn and all the schedule goes to heck. But it's just so helpful to know that you have a designated time to get things done. Like today, I have a designated time to record this video. So make sure that you schedule it. So that means schedule time to watch the videos. That means schedule time to do the homework, to do the worksheets. That means schedule time to connect if there's a community element or a Facebook group or something. Schedule and make time for all of that, or you just won't do it. So commit to getting results is number 1. Number 2 is schedule it. Number 3 is show up. Maybe, again, that's the benefit, is that you can show up in a time that works for you, but actually do it. If they're offering calls, group live calls or something like that, show up. If there's a way for you to submit questions in advance, even if the timing doesn't work out, do that. Use all the resources that are there available to you. If there's a bonus library, go through those bonuses. If every single lesson, if there's bonus examples and they're going to benefit you, go through those before you just show up in the course, the group, and you're like asking all these questions and everyone's like, awkward, because that's already answered in this particular video. Make sure you show up and you take full advantage of all the resources that are already there for you. So squeeze the most out of it. You've got this resource, you made this investment, use it is another way to say show up. So commit, schedule it. Show up is number 3. Number 4 is connect. Because just like in school, homework's more fun with study buddies. So find people to connect with, even if there's not like a community element such as a Facebook group. You can find people who have also invested in that course or program. Find them, connect with them, talk about whatever you learned, ask for feedback, exchange helpful feedback with each other. Find people to connect with to make the learning experience more of a community experience than it otherwise would be, even if it's designed to be a self-study course. So commit, schedule, show up and actually use it. Number 4 is connect. And then number 5 is repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. Because, for example, with a course about copy, one of the biggest benefits is that people can go back to it again and again. As often as your mood changes or your offers change or your business changes completely, it's still there for you. You can go right back to it, and now you have fresh eyes, more experience, a new perspective, a different style or a different take to apply. but it's still there for you. And the same goes with any other course. Denise Duffield Thomas's Lucky Bee Money Bootcamp, which she's changing the name of that, so it depends on when you watch this. But hers is the same. It's like the principles don't change. You can go back and you'll see things or kind of hear things maybe differently now that you have this unique frame of reference that you didn't have the first time you went through it, but it's still there. It's still valuable. If the course that you're taking doesn't have lifetime access, but you can download things, then download those things before they go away. If you have access for like a year or something, then make sure you download it so that you do have it to go back again and again. Because again, if I went back through my notes, and you know I kept my notes and textbooks from college, going back from and looking at my communication and lasting relationships notebook today is a total kick, because I'm in such a different place now than I am than I was 10 years ago when I took that class. And it's the same thing with any online course. You can get something new out of it every time you go in it. So those are the 5 tips. Commit to getting results. You're the boss, you're a big girl or big boy, and this is yours to do. You can do this. Number 2, schedule it. Every little part. Just make sure you have dedicated time to do it. And then you won't be worrying about, oh man, am I going to get to it? No. Pin it down on paper or pencil it, whatever you need to do. Schedule it. Number 3 is show up. Everything that's offered, take advantage of it. Make sure you've watched all the lessons. Make sure you show up to the live calls if there are live calls. Just make sure that you're actually using the resources that you purchased, that you invested in. Number 4, connect and find study buddies to make it more fun and to kind of help you process your learning, because it is easier when you have people to talk about things with. And then number 5 is repeat. So just as needed, go back over it with a fresh set of eyes. You can tweak things. Again, it totally depends on the nature of the course and what you're creating, but there's always benefit in going back and seeing things from a new perspective. So I hope those 5 tips help. In the comments below at nikki@elledgebrown.com for your homework today, I would love to hear what are some of your tips for making the most of an online course experience, or your experience with using any of these tips. And if you think that scheduling is just the best thing ever, then share that below, because a little social proof always helps. And maybe somebody doesn't believe me when I say it, but they'll read your comment and be like, oh, well, if she had a good time with that, then maybe I should try it too. You never know. So I'll see you in the comments. Hope this was helpful for you. Again, commit to getting those results, and you absolutely will. I'll see you next time. These days, there's an online course or program for just about every topic under the sun, which is great because it makes information readily accessible at all times, but it can also be really overwhelming because after a while it starts to get a little bit blurry and you don't know if you really need that online course or if it just looks really fun and lovely, and that's what I want to help you with today.